A big part of analysis is making sure we do deep analysis, figuring out the why that will allow us to attack the student error effectively. Here, first grade teachers and their grade level chair are analyzing student results on the STEP, on early literacy assessment. Jasmine noticed that the students are struggling with word solving. Let's look at their initial analysis and how it evolves.
So, in thinking about the lack of word solving right now is what it sounds like, which strategies do you think they are using?
They're using the initial sound, like Erin said. They're looking at that first letter, and whatever word could fit that sound. So not the meaning, not the syntax, if it makes sense, just the first sound. That's their strategy.
To help us understand this issue, Jasmine provides an example.
So let's say Ibn, right? Ibn Karim. He went back and he's like, let's say it's frog, right? He's going fish, and he goes on reading. Go back, you said fish. Oh, frog. Okay, read that again. So he knew what to do easily, but I had to stop him. So for me, it's kind of like now getting them back into the mindset that this is how we read, and if you don't know what it says, it's not going to make sense, and now you don't know what the story is about anymore.
Right.
Now that they have identified this issue, Juliana asked Jasmine the best strategies to address this problem.
But if they know their blends, and it's actually coming from you, right? That we're talking about those initial sounds. If they're tight on those blends and those vowel patterns, then they're gonna be less likely to kind of sit there and try to figure out, well, what's FR? What's the FR? They should know that. So it's not even taking away. And so if they recognize the stories about frogs, and now that you've taken care of that.
Jasmine mentions focusing on letter blends like f and th, th, etc. that often occur at the beginning of words. But this strategy doesn't solve the issue that students aren't reading the middle and end of the word. Watch how Juliana uses a redirecting question to get them back to this issue.
So that's definitely great because we want them to read the blends quickly. But I can't help but think about where the blends are in the word. So you guys identified that they'll read the beginning, but then not finishing through the word. So what else could you incorporate into the word work that's going to get at that strategy of not only looking at the beginning, but also continuing through the end?
The chunking.
I think, speak more to that. What do you?
So definitely the chunking as well.
Now we've come to the root issue. Students are struggling with chunking, reading the different parts of the word and bringing them together. But the meeting doesn't end here. As the instructional leader, Juliana asks if the teachers have the strategies they need to teach this effectively.
And so you identified chunking as a strategy that you should do in your actual analysis, but it's not here in the implication. So putting that into the implication and then being even more specific about which chunks you're going to start to identify or exactly how you're going to do that. So I'm not sure if you would prefer to do like, okay, we're going to introduce these chunks, or if you're going to do it more from like a procedural thing of like we're teaching them how to identify the chunk. Do you know what I mean by that, by as far as the procedural part of it?
I haven't really done chunking, to be honest. The way I interpreted chunking was just any longer word or any word.
Right.
Okay, first sound, what's that sound? Second sound. So I don't know what the kind of like the breakdown of this is how we chunk, or this is.
So if we have this word here, wonderful, right? So you teach them to look for the vowels.
The meeting ends with the instructional leader coaching the teachers around the strategy that will have the biggest impact in their upcoming lesson. So we've moved from teachers teaching reading generally, which has some impact, to choosing exactly the strategy that will improve learning tomorrow. When a teacher does this repeatedly, day after day, the learning improves dramatically. Only deep analysis allows for that to happen.